on?
Do. Welcome to Out of Pocket Pod. That's our jingle, guys.
And
Welcome.
we are live. Our backdrop, our sign is missing.
What?
Just look at my beautiful face.
Yeah, we're gonna need that. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a Damien Hirst.
It's a Damien Hirst. We should probably put
It's
it
key.
back up.
Is that in the safe?
Is my head blocking
in
the
the shot.
shot?
Should be in the safe.
No, you could put it on your forehead.
Just balance
Yeah,
it.
honestly, yeah.
Oh my
Does
God,
it still have the double-sided
stunning.
top
Yeah,
hay?
it's very important.
that is beautiful.
Yeah, it was really
That's
nice.
our temporary backdrop.
Wait, can you
right
I
now.
balance?
love it.
Took
Yeah.
it 4 weeks to get that made.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
key.
must have commissioned it.
Yeah, no. It was a big commission.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be. It's like a 10-year payoff thing.
So guys, welcome back. This is episode
Awesome.
11, I believe, and very exciting stuff. We appreciate you guys keeping up with us every week. As you know, we love to have in guests, just interesting people in our lives.
Yes.
Maybe even people we don't know, but this time it's actually somebody very close to us.
Yes.
Sammy in specific.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to give her,
It's
you
blood.
You want to give her the
Yeah,
quick
this
intro.
is my eldest sister.
Eldest.
Her name is Annie. She is
Annie
the
Wilkinson.
host of Nobodies Podcast,
Yes.
and she's probably the biggest blessing in my life.
Oh my
Oh my gosh,
realistically.
are you gonna make
Gas
me
her
cry
up.
like
No,
2
no, no,
seconds
no.
in? Okay.
No, but it's real.
She is the almighty one.
She is the almighty one.
That's her
Yes.
contact name in Sammy's phone. I'm always like, is God calling you, bro?
Pretty
I
much.
swear, yeah, it's my God.
And
But
she
yeah.
happens to be
She's pregnant.
I am pregnant.
She's what?
So we got a
7
lot of
months?
questions.
When this comes out, I'll be 8 months pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
I'm 1 week away
months.
from that.
Is it going fast?
Flying.
I feel like it's flying.
Flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going so fast.
When's the due date? I can't
The
add.
due date is November 22nd, but
Ooh.
he's measuring about 3 weeks big. So they're guessing he's going to be like 10 days to 2 weeks early.
Really? Okay.
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Like,
He's gonna
does-
be a-
like
he's-
slightly premature, but like, what does that even mean?
Well,
what does premature
so-
actually mean? Like, is there like a certain cutoff for like having a premature baby?
technically, yes. I think 37 weeks is considered like full term.
Okay.
Like anything after that, typically the baby doesn't need to do like NICU. Obviously, each situation's different.
Of course.
So I'm 31 weeks today. Most babies around that time are like around 3 pounds. Mine is measuring 4 pounds 5 ounces.
So
Gonna be a big.
You got a linebacker
So,
in there.
yeah,
huh?
he's gonna
No.
he's gonna be big.
He's actually NBA bound.
NBA
Yeah.
bound.
Is
Yeah.
the NBA bound?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either NBA bound.
And
Well-
training starts
well-
November 23rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's already running sprints, I believe.
Well, we're hoping he just walks straight out of my uterus into
Yeah.
the NBA draft.
Yeah.
That would be ideal.
So you have a name, or is that something you don't want to talk about?
We do have a name. I'm not gonna share it until after. I mean, I'll tell
We
you
know.
off.
We
yeah.
all know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell. I mean, yeah. You guys, you know. don't
I
you?
know. Yeah. I was
Okay.
just like asking. you.
Yeah, we're gonna wait to share the name like publicly, even though we're not public figures, till after the case.
Yeah.
Well, he's definitely gonna be a public figure,
Yes.
so that's probably smart.
I think he's.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it, but he's gonna be either in the NBA or Chris Brown's biggest nightmare.
Yeah.
It's your choice. Like, it's one of the two.
Let's go.
Well, because
So-
Mac, your boyfriend,
Yes.
like we all love Mac so much.
Yes.
Terrence is his real name.
Yeah, but Max.
We call him
T-
Mac. How did that
Mac.
even happen? How does his name become Mac? I'm curious.
So you guys will have to have him on here and talk about
Yeah.
that
For sure.
whole
That would be a fun
evolution.
episode.
We should have just brought him on as well.
Yeah.
I know I should. Yeah. I don't know.
Seating kind of inhibited it. Once
Yeah.
we get our next studio though, we'll have both
Okay.
y'all on. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah. Maybe
For
after.
sure.
Maybe after
Oh,
I
with
give
the
birth.
baby.
We can, yeah, we can do it that way.
He'll probably already be talking too. So like.
Yeah. He's actually been known as Mac like back home since like middle school. I think it was just like a basketball nickname that he was given, and it kind of
Just a North Carolina thing.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
That's crazy. And
Yeah.
He's like 6'3", right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's gonna be a
6'3".
lady killer, your kid. I mean, like, Mac's just
Yeah.
smooth as hell. You know what I'm saying? He's just
Well-
got that swagger to him, and I'm just like, shit. Like,
He does have that.
he's gonna like obviously give
I'm
him a
gonna
lot
be
of
the-
game
I'm
growing
gonna
up.
be like the least cool one in the family. That's for sure.
No, he's gonna be the lax dad. You can tell. Just like, you know.
Oh yeah. Except I do think that everyone thinks I'm going to be the high strung one just because I tend to be a little more type A. I do think when it comes to parenthood that he'll be a little bit more
Yeah.
like, I don't want to say high strung because that's just not who he is, but I
Right.
do think he'll be a little bit more particular in how things go.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I think when a kid comes out, it's like your whole life changes. You could become someone completely
Yes.
different.
So true.
So you can't expect that.
I mean, even getting pregnant, you're just like,
What?
what do
Yeah,
I
do
do
you
now?
any cravings? Like, I'm curious.
They
get funky, I've heard.
I really haven't had any. I've had actually a very easy pregnancy, knock on wood. Thank you.
all different
Perfect.
things. Nice.
But no, I have had like yesterday, for example, I like needed a Dairy Queen Blizzard.
Oh, only in the Burbank Mall.
Don't say that around
Yeah.
G. That shit triggers his fight or
And I
flight.
live like
You do live
2
right
minutes from there.
Okay, that's easy.
Here's the kicker. They close at like 6 p.m., which is complete bullshit. So I couldn't
Weird.
get one, but he made up for it and went and got me some top-notch Ben and Jerry's.
Fire. That'll
So,
supplement.
yeah,
That'll do.
exactly. No, in the beginning it was more like food aversions. Like for a while, like someone saying the word scrambled eggs to me made me want to die.
Yeah.
Where I was just like.
And you were a big egg eater before?
Yeah, and well now I'm fine. It was just like a chunk of time where
Okay,
like
got
that
it.
Oh, just
was
like made you
awful.
nauseous.
Mhm.
And, yeah.
But other than that, I never had any morning sickness or anything like that.
That's
Oh,
good.
really?
Yeah.
Did you have like
that
the
was,
pukes? Like you never like puked?
I did one time. It was actually at you guys' old house.
Really?
It was after we all traveled back from Austin. And it had been like such a terrible. It was after it was right after you guys found out that I was pregnant.
Oh,
Actually,
okay. Yeah, that's right.
it had been such a long travel day, and I was just like depleted.
Yeah.
The first 13 weeks of a pregnancy are probably the hardest, at least up until this point, because you have no energy. That's typically when people are the sickest.
Your body's adjusting like to
Well,
the
the hormones are
transi-
just nuts. Like you never know what to expect. And so that's the one time that I got sick was after like a really long, crazy travel day.
That's
Yeah.
wild. Is it just like an extended period maybe? Like anything like
I mean,
cuz I know your hormones start acting up when you're on your period as a girl.
basically, yeah.
Just
like
start crying.
literally, like that'll happen. Like somebody will send me an Instagram video and I'm like, oh my God. And and what's weird is like your body's reacting. And even in my mind, because I'm very logical and rational. So in my mind, like I will have tears in my eyes and be like, why is this happening to me? Like,
It's like a British kid hitting like the whip or something. You're like, why am I crying about
yeah,
this?
like you get emotional about weird stuff, but I've been pretty even keel, I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
great.
Is it like a trip in your head because you weren't pregnant, obviously, at one point?
Yeah, that's
And
how it
most-
works.
most
So like
typically.
how it
once
works?
you like found out you were pregnant, in your brain were you like, okay, I'm making a baby in my stomach. This is very, very
No,
trippy.
that took a long time to realize.
coming to terms like
Well, I panicked when I got a positive pregnancy test.
Well, didn't you think mom and dad were gonna get mad at
I
you?
thought they were gonna be so pissed.
You're like a complete woman with
I
your own
mean,
life.
fully
oh
grown.
my God. I'm 30. I was almost 32 years old. I've been in a relationship for almost 10 years. And I called Emily first and I was like, I can't have a baby. I'm 17 years old. Like, I can't take care of a baby. She was like, you're 31. What is wrong with you? Like, it's just crazy what your brain like takes you straight back to being a teenager.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought my parents were going to be pissed. I was terrified
that's
to
fucking
tell them.
hilarious.
That's
But-
awesome.
And they were probably over the moon. I'm
They were
sure.
thrilled. Yeah. Yeah.
How'd you tell him? On the phone?
No, I told him in person. I started to
So
cry
she
before I
said.
even got it out.
And they cried, probably.
Um,
Dad? I feel like Dad's
No,
cried.
they actually didn't cry. I think they were so shocked. Dad told me later that he thought that I was going to tell him that I was getting married. And I was like, well, you'll know before I do when I'm getting married, just because.
Oh, obviously,
he'll,
yeah.
he'll
Yeah,
ask
ask for the
permission.
blessing and whatnot.
And so I was like, no, so I think they were both in disbelief,
Yeah.
but
Right.
Yeah.
Unexpected.
They told us on Easter,
yeah.
and we were in Austin at Emily and Baker's crib,
Yeah.
and we woke up and they're like she always does like these games. She's like the responsible one, so she like makes games up, and
Holds the family together.
yeah, exactly. And she's like, oh, we have like a small Easter egg hunt. And we're like, okay, I'm sure, like let's do this. And
We're hungover.
But there was only one
Yeah.
egg for each person.
yeah, or like didn't you? Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So there's like one egg per
It's
person.
like an extreme Easter egg hunt.
and,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
And then
Especially in our family.
yeah, and we're all like piss hungover, like fucking Annie, come on, man, like let's not do this.
Also, the night before was our sister's 30th birthday party. So everyone was drinking, and I was fake drinking.
Yeah.
No one had any idea
Oh.
that I hadn't
How'd
been
you
drinking.
get like just water shots or
So
like?
when I
Throw it
got
behind
to
you.
the venue, I went straight up to the cocktail waitress and I said, because I was only like 6 or 7 weeks at the time, I was like, I'm 7 weeks pregnant. Nobody knows. I'm gonna order Tito's soda, but just bring me soda water with a lime.
You're sneaky for that.
And then when they would
Wow.
order
She
shots,
is a planner.
So I am. when I would order shots, she would make sure that she would just come over and like slip me a water shot.
That's cool.
So nobody had any idea that I wasn't drinking.
you got all your loose ends
Yeah.
covered. That's
oh yeah,
crazy.
oh yeah.
But back to the Easter egg hunt. We all had quarters in our egg, and then she came around and handed us all a scratch off. And I was like, okay, like this probably won't work. Like I'm sure that we're not gonna win. And then we're all like scratching it off, and I hear like one person, and I'm like kind of like looking around like what the fuck, and I see one, they're like, no way. And I'm like, what? You won? And then like, I heard someone else who were like, no way. And I'm like, what the
These
fuck?
are all winners.
Wait,
And so I'm like,
don't tell me. Keep
and so
going.
I'm scratching it off, and I'm like not paying attention. I'm like, you know, when I'm hungover, there's nothing there, and I'm scratching it, and then I read, and it's like, we're having a baby, and then it came to, and I was like, what?
You thought everyone was just
I
making
thought
names?
everyone was winning or some shit.
Hey, you got custom like scratchers?
Yeah.
Like,
I found them on Amazon. I think it's a fairly common way people tell their families, but I was like, this will be perfect. So in each Easter egg, there was a quarter.
Yeah.
And that was, the best part is like when you're dealing with a room full of adults, because Sammy's the youngest one there, and they open up an Easter egg and it's one quarter. Everyone's like, cool, Annie, thanks. So
What the
like,
fuck is this, man?
Yeah. So
Is that how your parents found out that
no,
way? As
no.
well?
So I
Okay,
told
okay,
them
okay.
the morning before.
Got you.
Yeah, I was like, I can't tell them in front of everyone else. That would just
Right,
be.
right,
That is so creative. Like,
Thank you.
How do you come up
Yeah.
with this shit? That's amazing.
It's just being a girl, dude.
I had
They're
Googled.
so much better than us.
Right? Like even like their notes in elementary school or like middle school, like girls are doing like the flowers and like in the top left. And, you know, I saw a TikTok and it was like a girl. You couldn't see what the words were at first, and it's like this crazy font, and then it like
Yeah.
zooms out and it says the Holocaust Part 2 or
Oh
something.
my god.
It's like, you know, like they would literally be doing that.
Yeah.
They're learning about that shit in history and like they're
Right,
all
right,
analytical
right.
with
Yeah.
everything. But you you definitely have that part of your brain working though, you know?
Yeah,
That's-
well, and
that's-
I think this is like the first one for our family. So I was like, we got to do it in like some sort of fun way. And so I wanted to make sure, because I had not even had an ultrasound at that point. But I knew we were all going to be together on that weekend. So I was like, I called my doctor and I was like, can you just give me a blood test to like confirm it? Even though there's no such thing as a false positive pregnancy test, just so you guys know.
Really?
No. There's false
Really?
negatives.
So
but
if you get the
false-
double lines, it's confirmed?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because there's a hormone present in urine when only present when you're pregnant.
Physically
And
can't
so-
be there. If you're
Yeah,
not. Okay.
exactly.
Got you.
Things can happen like a chemical pregnancy where like your body thinks you're pregnant, but there's actually no like,
So that's a false negative.
well, no. So like it'll show up as positive, which technically based on your hormones, it would be, but like you don't actually have something like implanted.
Oh,
Does that
okay.
make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Man, great episode. We
Mhm.
can agree.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we've talked about this before. Something we're all very passionate about. Something that we feel is important in this day and
mental
age.
health.
Mental health.
Specifically, this year, last year, the events that have brought us to this moment.
State of the world in general, you know?
How tough it can be on a mind, specifically a young mind,
Mm-hmm.
like ours.
Yep. It could be our minds. It could be your minds.
Could be your mind.
It could be your parents' minds.
And you know what? It's okay to be going through tough times, isn't it, Johnson?
Straight up. And, you know, mental health struggles, they have no demographic. There's no barriers. Anybody can go through them. It doesn't matter how well off you are, how down in the dumps you are, you know, where you come from in the world. Geography is in a location. It doesn't matter, bro. Everybody has their own problems, and it's all based off perspective and relativity. And, you know, everybody goes through shit, even if they look like they got everything painted up and tied off with a pretty ribbon on top, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes
It's
you just
real.
need a space to come and talk.
Mm-hmm.
And the pandemic doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon.
No.
And I didn't even think I really had like depression like that. And I still don't think I do, but I've realized recently I've been down in the dumps.
And the dizzies.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with the pandemic. Like at first I was like, oh, I'll be fine. Like
You accepted it.
yeah, and like now it's like there'll be like days where I'm like, what the hell? Like
It's
and
like 18 months. Like, come on.
when we started working with Talkspace and like talking to these people, a different guy or girl any other day, like it's actually made like a tremendous difference, and I recommend everyone try it.
Yeah, and it's great because, you know, it's not a weekly scheduled thing. They're available for you 24/7, whoever your person you're talking to is. And so there's always someone to vent to. There's always somebody who can, you know, give you feedback and be an unbiased kind of representative and help you through whatever the fuck you're going through, man. And so, yeah, we're big fans of Talkspace, and we're big fans of, you know, getting your mental right. That's the most important thing. You get your mental right, and everything else will follow.
Mm-hmm.
So join Talkspace today and start moving forward with a single message. Just visit Talkspace.com and get $100 off your first month when you use the promo code POCKET at sign up. That's $100 off at Talkspace.com, promo
Whoa.
code POCKET.
So, But no, technically there's no such thing as a positive pregnancy or false positive pregnancy test.
Got you.
So I just went in and I got blood work done to confirm, because they can tell by the levels of your hormones like how far along you are. So, but they won't do an ultrasound typically before 8 weeks.
Okay, got you.
But I knew we'd all be together, so I wanted to do something fun while we were all in person.
You've done ultrasounds since?
Oh my God,
I've
yeah,
seen
like
them.
every 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
I showed
trippy,
Jack
yeah.
like the new ultrasounds. It looks like
Here,
you
I
can
can show
see.
you.
Yeah, show them.
Yeah.
I need to see it.
Can we like put like, or would you not want that to be like on, like, could we overlay it on our podcast?
Probably not this one, just because it's like literally what he's gonna look like.
No, yeah, I feel you. I
Right.
feel you.
Yeah, just keep that to yourself. But like, yeah. So his hands are over its face.
Wait,
Like
is that his
doing-
foot?
He's doing the
No, it's
thinking
his
man.
hand.
Yeah,
right?
so this is his foot.
oh, his foot.
One of them is his foot. I have a hand one too. So that's his foot.
I thought he was
And
doing the
My
thinking man.
God.
pose.
Little
You can
face.
see his face.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
He's here with us
That's
right
like he's
now.
doing the
which is
Tebow, bro.
So
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, like I feel like
Yeah.
I'm talking about some other thing, but
But
it's
he's
like right
right
there.
They look so like
and he's like, he
real.
can hear us.
Yeah, and here's one with
I mean, he
his
is
hand.
real,
So
but-
that's his hand, and you see his nose and his mouth.
Whoa.
That is
Yeah,
trippy
bud.
as
He's
fuck.
just sleeping. Like,
So okay,
do they
so
open their eyes in there?
I was gonna say I was listening to you guys' podcast that came out today, and you had started to talk about pregnancy and just like what happens inside. Someone said like, how do they go from having gills to
Yeah.
breathing oxygen?
I don't think they have
Like, when do
gills.
the gills
Yeah,
disappear?
no, they never have gills. They do open their eyes. For a while, they're like fused. Your eyelids are fused shut. But then they have to open them because that's how they learn how to blink.
Do they ever do ultrasounds with the eye, like on like an off chance that the eyes are open?
Yeah, but the technology wouldn't show. Like it'd be really hard
Okay,
for you
okay.
to tell that it was open.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it definitely happens.
Whoa.
That's crazy. Because okay, wait, what's the fluid surrounding the baby inside?
Amniotic fluid.
Amniotic
Yeah.
fluid.
Yeah.
Could
'Cause
we?
I'm like, I can't open my eyes underwater still, but I'm like, I must have been in the
oh,
womb,
hell
right?
yeah, you were.
Like, how did I degress?
Probably like a.
You're just like you're not as like a farther like as long as us.
You
On
haven't
the
evolved.
evolutionary scale, yeah.
There you go. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're
Well,
just, like, a
and you're
little-
thinking about like
past.
chlorinated water versus like it's made for us to
True,
live
true.
inside.
It's
Well,
like,
and you wear
it's
glasses,
not
so
like it's not like just water.
yeah, it's probably like the
Yeah.
best possible fluid for a baby's eyes, if anything.
When-
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you need it to. I mean, without the amniotic fluid, the baby like wouldn't survive.
I can't believe that you can have a baby. It's
You
such
can
a
just
trip.
build one,
You getting jealous?
and you don't have
It's
to
just
do anything. It's
crazy.
involuntary.
It's nuts.
It's like
What's
coming
like
in there.
surprised you most about being pregnant or getting pregnant? All of that. What's like the I guess in the whole
most
process?
unexpected?
Yeah, like what's just like you.
Well, the
didn't-
most unexpected thing is that if you have sex, you can get pregnant.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
isn't that
Like that
nuts?
literally is. That's
how
what
it
happens.
happens.
Yeah. Feeling him move is like the coolest. Like I will miss that once he's born.
You can just feel his.
But you'll have
little
so
foot or
many
Yeah.
other things to replace that.
Oh
feeling,
no,
'cause
totally.
He'll be here. But like, do you ever like just sit there and like have conversations with him, or like
Yeah,
like,
actually.
even like vibe offs, like kind of like give him like good energy and see if he gives
Oh
it
yeah,
back?
or sometimes he'll jab me really hard and I'll kind of like jab him back. Like this morning I was laying in bed and I was on my phone and he moved enough for like my whole arm to move.
Oh my god.
And I'm assuming it was like his butt or his knee or something, but like
Wow.
pushed all the
Wow,
way
that's
out.
Insane.
Is that like
Yeah.
the trippiest feeling? Like,
You can.
Yeah.
that's
can
gotta
you
be
see
kind
from
of freaky the
outside?
first
Yeah.
time you
Yeah.
feel
for
that.
sure?
yeah.
Like she'll send me videos
So-
and like the whole thing will move.
Yeah,
like, it's
I
not
can
just like
show you
a
guys some of
quick
the
thing. It's
videos.
like it'll like fold. Oh, it's weird, bro.
Yeah, it's
I'll
wild.
show you videos. Yeah.
What
Um,
about like can they be fully any orientation? Like can their back be on your stomach? Then they're
Yeah, that was actually happening a lot to me. So I would feel him move and I would tell Mac to put his hand on my stomach and he wouldn't. But I was feeling him move because his back was towards. So like he was kicking
So
in.
you could feel it internally.
Oh.
and,
Yeah.
like,
Ooh.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt though, because remember they're surrounded by fluid.
yeah.
So it really does feel like if you were to like punch
underwater.
underwater, that's
Gotcha.
kind of like what the feeling is.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not fun if he like gets under your ribs or something, but
Sorry.
yeah,
We
yeah,
don't
that part's
ever
not
have
that
to
much
do
fun.
that.
Yeah.
I wish I could just feel it for like a little bit.
Can we at least make it and then take it out?
I don't-
No, because you
I
don't
don't
have
know,
even
guys.
an organ to do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, you know, and give it 5 years. Like, technology is
Yeah.
rapidly improving. There might be a, you know.
That's true.
You just got 4K in there.
He's like, I want Netflix.
He's got your nose, honey.
I'm curious,
Mm-hmm.
when you first saw, like, the double lines on your pregnancy test that came
Yeah.
back positive, Were you by yourself? Were you with Mac?
I was with him. Well, we were just at home.
And so like you saw it first, or was he looking over your shoulder type shit?
No. I was in the bathroom by myself. But I will say, like, the moment the pee hit it, it turned double lines.
What
like,
was
you know,
his-
in movies,
oh,
it's
sorry.
always like, oh my gosh, a waiting period.
yeah, yeah.
No. It was like a drop hit it, and it was like positive. And I was
Really?
like, fuck.
Did your stomach drop? Or did your baby
I
drop?
think I like passed away for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was Mac's initial reaction?
Well, I walked out and I said, oh my God.
Did he know you were taking a pregnancy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he knew. It was actually right before St. Patrick's Day. And I was like a couple days late. So I was like, if we're going to go drink a bunch, like, let me just make sure that.
Smart.
Well, and I had taken pregnancy tests before. We've been together for 10 years.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
I've taken pregnancy tests before and it was always negative. And so when this one happened, I walked out and I was terrified and I just handed it to him and I was like, I think this is positive. And he kind of like grabbed it from me, like thinking I was joking.
Yeah.
He was like, and he looked at it, he goes, no way, take another one. In my head, I'm like, well, there's no such thing as a false positive.
You already knew
Right.
this.
So I like chug a bunch of water.
He
I go
said,
take
"Take
it.
another
Yeah,
one."
he was like, just take another one. And we had two. Like it was a 2-for-1 special or something. And
Love
so I chugged some water. I took another one. Same thing. The moment it hit it, it turned positive. And this one was one that said like positive, like the word. Or no, it says pregnant, I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that's when I walked out and I just immediately started to cry. Which, not because I was like sad, but I was just like so overwhelmed. And what's weird is the week before, we had the conversation of like, oh, maybe like 2 to 3 years we'll start to try. And we hadn't we knew we wanted kids, but we hadn't really talked about it. And so, yeah, I was like, okay, well, I guess actually 1 week.
God had his own plan. You know?
Well, exactly.
crazy.
And that's, yeah.
Man.
And I do think there's something to like, you have no control over this. And if, you know, God or the universe or whatever thought this was the right time for us, then it is.
Facts
Yeah.
on that.
This is so exciting.
Has your
That's
and
awesome.
Mac's relationship changed at all since like you guys have found out you're having a baby?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think it has, like, just in a good way. Like, I think I've probably, because I'm incredibly independent. You guys all know that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I probably have had to learn to rely on him a little bit more than I have in the past. And he's become very protective.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, very
Like,
protective.
did you drive here?
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like you should be like sheltered at all times.
She had work.
I mean, I go to work
pregnant,
every day.
dude.
No, I think there is something
Do they expect
to...
the same thing of you?
Okay, thank you for bringing this up because I said to people, I was like, it is complete bullshit that pregnant women, and quite frankly, women that are like PMSing, are just expected to continue life as normal and not complain, not talk about it, like not do anything. So yeah, like the expectations for me in life in general have not changed.
That's nuts. Like, you're carrying.
There's
a
no like
baby.
maternity leave at all. Like, or
No,
is
so
there?
after I have the baby, I'll be off.
Okay.
And how long is that in the States?
Well, it depends. It's 12 weeks at least is what you're guaranteed by federal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And is maternity leave, is that like still with pay, like for your job, like, or is that just like?
That's where it depends.
Okay, gotcha.
yeah.
Depends on a company to company basis.
Yep, exactly. But typically the state that you live in does have maternal benefits that will offer some sort of compensation. It's
Okay.
a disability pay,
Okay, got you.
which is also really
That's
messed up
fucked
that
up.
like I'll be on disability during maternity leave.
Wow. Okay,
Which,
got you.
Yeah.
That's a fucked up. They should change that.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of things about women's rights in this country that
Oh,
should change.
yeah. Jeez, yeah. I don't know. My sister was talking about like she works with someone in like England or something and had a baby, and like she gets to be off for like 6 months or
Yeah,
something.
England's crazy.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
England's crazy. Some countries give the mom and dad the first year of the baby's life.
Wow.
I feel like
Paid.
that's cool
It
because
should at
they
least,
should be there.
Well, it should be at least 6 months. Because even like if you think about it, a woman's not even allowed to like think about exercising or having sex again or anything for 6 weeks
Yeah.
after birth. So it takes that long for your body to heal from the trauma, quite literally, of pushing a human out.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, okay, well, and some places only give you 6 weeks. So then it's like, okay, well, now I'm healed, but I got to jump right back into work and leave my infant baby, whether you're breastfeeding or not. Like, there's so many things that go into it where you're just like,
Yeah.
This is not.
how is
yeah.
12 weeks enough time?
Is that enough for sure?
Yeah,
Yeah, it makes
yeah.
you wonder.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Go on.
No, go for it.
I was curious. Like in terms of, so what? You're about 7.5 months along right now.
8 months long.
Okay.
8 months?
Today? Isn't
I'll
that
be 8 months on
37
Monday.
weeks?
On Monday.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
right.
I remember we were at, I forget what bar we were at. This is the day I figured out. You told, I think.
Oh, it was my birthday.
Yeah, your birthday.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
I think like everybody knew except for me. Or
I didn't know either.
Oh, you didn't know either?
No, you guys came together, and that's when you found out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like everyone else had already known, and you guys just started casually talking about it, and I was like, what's everyone talking
Well,
about?
no, I remember you came in, and I got up and gave you guys a hug, and you were like, all right, are we gonna get some drinks going? And I was like, well, I'm actually pregnant, and you were like,
What?
wait, what?
Yeah, no. I thought you were
casual.
completely making a joke about it. I was like, of course you're getting fucked up with us today, Annie. Come on, what are you talking about?
Well, typically I would have.
But that leads me to my question. So like my mom told me like she would like occasionally have a glass of wine when I was in her stomach. Like, what are the effects of alcohol?
That makes sense.
Is it if you owe it?
Totally, Joe. You're like a genius.
I'm just like chugging my brew. But yeah, so like what like. Because obviously I know about like crack babies when moms are hooked on the crack pipe and their kids come out with a predisposed.
Well, they come
Not
out.
funny.
They come out addicted.
I was thinking
like,
of crack
yeah,
baby
like,
basketball from South Park.
from
That's
South
why I
Park?
laughed.
They gotta wane them off like right when they're born.
Of course,
Yeah,
yes.
they go through withdrawals immediately.
Like, is there like a level like about like if you did have a glass of wine, like would that affect your child at all? Like, I'm curious like how that works and like what's the line that you draw it at? Like, I know you personally are sober, but
yeah. So the tough part is they don't know. Like,
really?
They don't know what amount or at what point like fetal alcohol syndrome happens. They say definitely avoid it altogether in the first trimester, which is like those first 13 weeks, because that's when the baby's the most fragile. That's when all of like the core, brain, gut, everything is forming. So you definitely want to avoid it then. Some people do choose to have a glass of wine here and there. You want to avoid hard alcohol altogether. But I know some women that will like have a beer occasionally. I honestly doesn't sound good to me.
I feel you.
Heartburn is like so real. So the thought of having a glass of wine lights my esophagus on fire.
And you were never really much of a drinker.
No, like I would have like my nights, but I'm not like a weeknight.
We'd have our Fireball Sundays,
Well, yeah, exactly. That's
Oh yeah,
Browns
That's
games.
way
Sundays,
touchdown.
all bets are off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually really haven't missed it that much.
That's fire.
Do you know like the percentage? This might be a little too like doctor question, but like the percentage of like food like that goes to the baby's bloodstream, or is it all of like I don't know.
That's a good question.
He gets his
I have no
he gets his
idea.
nutrients
Like
based
all
off
of
of
it,
what
right? 'Cause
you
it's
eat, though, right?
huge.
Yeah.
Like does it go through? All of it goes through him.
Through the blood, probably.
Well,
Fuck.
it's technically just like the macronutrients. So like
Vitamins.
so I had to like immediately so I take vitamins and do all of that, but I had to up my protein content because he's taking a lot of the protein just recently. As his bones get stronger, like they basically just take from you.
Yeah.
And
These
so
parasites.
Yeah, basically.
It
And so it's like
literally is.
they take what they need from you, and then whatever's left. Like some women are at risk of osteoporosis
What
because
is
they
that?
don't get enough. It's when their bones get really fragile.
Soft bones.
Because
And
like their
so-
nutrients are going to the baby, and
Yeah.
they're not getting enough themselves.
Right. So you have to like up a lot of those things.
Mm.
Iron. I'm actually anemic because your blood volume increases significantly during pregnancy.
What is anemic?
You bruise easy. It's like
Anemic is
iron,
low
right?
on iron.
Low
low on iron.
Yeah.
Have you always
So-
been that? Or
No,
just
in pregnancy.
Okay.
It's really common to become anemic in pregnancy because your blood volume doubles almost, which is part of the reason I feel like I'm hot all the time. Like I'm like dripping.
It gets
I'm
really warm in
I'm
here
like
too.
dripping sweat.
I'm
so
so much blood
Take
inside
off
of you.
your headset if you need to, because I
gets
notice
hot
my
as
ears
fuck.
get so
it's
hot.
mostly like the chest down that I sweat a lot now, but which is weird.
Well, that's where
Considering
he
he's
is.
on he's on the upper half though, isn't he?
Yeah, true, but like I'll be at work in like a dress and my knees will be like dripping sweat. It's like the weirdest thing. But no, so your blood volume doubles, and then if you're not increasing your iron intake, it just gets diluted.
Are you gonna? I mean, like, I don't know why anyone would do this, but a lot of people do. Are you gonna do it with drugs? Give the baby to the world with drugs?
conception?
Oh, like an epidural?
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mindset, no judgment on anyone. Like, obviously, I think this is like the ultimate in what a woman's choice should be.
Uh huh.
The result will be the same.
Yes.
like getting like the baby will come out whether it's with or without medication, whether it's a C-section or natural delivery, whatever. So yes.
Yes, this is like a choice for you at this point.
I told my doctor, I was like, she asked me recently, she's like, what's on your birth plan? And I was like, as soon as I can get that epidural, like load me up,
Let's
baby.
run it, baby.
I want 2 of them.
And he's big.
Exactly.
They
They are actually having to monitor his head size because it gets to the point where some babies just will not fit through the pelvis.
That's crazy, yo.
Oh my god, dude! It's like this is like real.
And
life.
also, you know, Nash and Taylor, like
Yeah.
Taylor did a home birth, a fully natural birth,
and
no
she was
medication.
like 3 weeks past her due date.
Yeah, and they had a big ass baby
Yeah.
too. And I'm like, Jesus, Taylor, you are a soldier. You're a winter soldier for that.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's
Captain
a champion.
America, straight up.
A champion.
I haven't even talked to her about that.
Yeah, crazy.
I thought they posted something saying it was tough too.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like days. Like
Yeah.
a couple days.
Yeah, they
at
were like in the
least.
bathtub at home. They had
Ooh.
someone come through.
Like straight.
We gotta have them on for sure to like talk about their
Oh, we
experience.
need to.
Because I'm like
Yeah.
very interested about this shit now. This
Well,
is
labor can take like 3 days
yeah.
from
yeah.
the time you start to feel contractions to the time the baby actually gets there.
that's crazy. My mom said my brother was like 18-hour process.
Yeah.
And then
Oh.
I was like literally 20 minutes.
Yeah, you
type
just
shit.
Yeah.
slid
Just,
right
I just sped right out in the world, and I was just
Yeah.
dancing around the fucking
yeah.
doctor's office. I guess.
Typically the first one takes longer too.
Where are you gonna conceive the baby out here? Are you gonna go back to Omaha? Are you
Well, the baby was conceived here.
or not conceive? Are you gonna deliver the baby here? I'm
in-
mixing up my fucking vocab words.
Nice, Johnson. What the fuck?
Can you tell I haven't been in school,
You got a fucking issue, man.
dude? Back off, all right.
We are delivering in Santa Monica.
In Santa Monica. Okay.
Yeah, that's just where our doctor is.
Okay, got you. 'Cause
Annie's actually. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say my mom in Omaha, she has this lady. I guess it works without fail. If you eat her cookies around your due date, like your water will break.
Oh, well, maybe I'll just have her send me some.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, she'll
Yeah.
probably send them
Good
now.
call.
But like her friends were like telling her about it, and she got a batch of the cookies. One of her friends brought her some. Within like 2 hours, I was coming out, and I'm
No.
like,
Johnson's running out.
what are these magic cookies back
Oh,
in
yeah.
Nebraska? But
I'm going to text your mom
no,
about
seriously,
that,
text her
actually.
about it. She'll tell you a
will.
funny story about it. But
I will.
When your water breaks, is
Uh-huh.
that the fluid?
Yes.
So then he's just dry in there. He's like, what's
Well,
he doing?
at that point, that's
It's a good
at-
noise.
that's a fair question too. At that point, that's when your uterus is contracting, so that it's like actively trying to get him out.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And then okay, when does the baby ever try? Like I know probably I actually don't know anything. Does he ever try to breathe in there? Even though he can.
So they practice
Oh,
breathing
God.
movements with the amniotic fluid.
Oh, so they technically do.
Have gills.
have gills.
Well, it's like they'll take it because they swallow it also. Like basically they here's the weird thing that I find really trippy is 30 minutes after I eat, my amniotic fluid will taste like what I just ate.
No way.
Whoa.
So-
So that's why they get cravings of like.
yeah.
Oh, that's
Dude, now I
trippy
know
as
what my mom
fuck.
was eating. I know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oldies.
What do you think about people eating placenta for health benefits? Have you heard about that shit?
Yes.
Rich people.
I have a lot of friends actually that have done that.
You guys know what placenta is?
Yeah.
Isn't it like
Define it.
Yeah,
well,
it's,
it's like
it's
the-
sort of like
the lining inside the
yeah,
womb,
like
right?
like
Or
the
something?
well, how would you define it? It's like the ectoplasm, like within
So
the.
the placenta is actually an organ that grows like
It's an organ.
yeah. So it's the only organ in our body that we grow basically for use at that time, and then
Get
you
rid
do
of it.
deliver it after.
So you have multiple placentae.
Well,
If you have multiple babies.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
But you only
So-
have one per, I think. Pregnancy,
Okay.
right?
one per pregnancy.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
I mean, I'm sure.
Twins maybe.
So twins can either
That's a good
share a
question.
placenta. No, twins can either share a placenta or have their own placentas.
Really?
But the placenta basically is that's actually technically how your baby gets its nutrients.
Cause isn't that like
So-
connected to the baby via
Umbilical cord.
Umbilical cord.
Yep.
Cause like you cut that and then you. I mean, it's weird because the placenta, like people make like put it in their smoothies. People will put
How long
it
does
in,
it? It's like one
pills.
smoothie or like.
No.
No, they're
big.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like a
placentas are trippy
ribeye.
to look at. Yeah.
Yeah, or like those shroom pills that we got. Like
Yeah.
people put those in those.
That's
joints.
probably a good call.
You
So
don't gotta
typically
chew
what
on
they
it.
do is they
No.
like freeze dry it or whatever to maintain. They have some process that it goes through, and then they grind it up, and most people put it in pills.
Great
And
nutrients, yeah.
It's conspiracies.
it's not conspiracies necessarily. There's no scientific evidence that
It's like beneficial in any way.
no, because you have to remember the other thing is the placenta is also how the baby removes waste during pregnancy.
Oh, so you're eating like baby dookie?
Is it? Do they dookie? Or
Some babies do right before they're born. And in that case, it's actually very dangerous.
Okay, but
Yeah.
Really?
that
Yeah.
whole time when they actually dispose of the waste,
It's going into the
placenta is
placenta.
but where does it? It comes through this. It goes
The
out
umbilical cord?
the umbilical cord. Or
Yeah, so it all goes in and out of the umbilical cord, and then
Okay.
and like into the amniotic fluid, and just kind of all recycles itself.
Wait, so like they're pooping out of their belly button? Or
Well,
I'm
but no,
confused.
because you got to think it's all macronutrients and like liquid.
Oh, you're right.
So there's no
like,
actual, like, solid.
weight.
No.
Okay, that makes a lot
Yeah.
more sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
The innie versus outie belly buttons, is that based on how they cut the umbilical cord?
I think it's based on how it heals. Yeah.
How it heals. Okay,
Yeah.
got you. And are you gonna be doing? Are you self snipping? Are you gonna have the doctors do it?
Oh,
I thought
the
you were
other-
gonna say,
so
are you gonna
the-
circumcise him? Or not?
Well, also a good question.
I thought
We're
that was
planning
gonna-
on it.
Okay, good.
So actually, you guys brought up on your last podcast something about
The umbilical cord like can tangle, or something about umbilical cords.
yeah.
I remember we were talking about umbilical cords.
I just had a thought, and
shit's
now
sketch.
it's totally gone. About how the first hands that touch you
Oh,
in
yeah,
this world
yeah.
are like not
stranger.
someone you know.
Yeah.
So our doctor actually has this thing where the first hands she wants on the baby are the dad's.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so she gets the baby to the point where the head is out, and then she actually takes like the dad's hands in her hands. And so the dad is the one that actually pulls him out.
That's epic.
Which I think is like the coolest thing ever. Yeah.
Oh my
Teasing
God.
Yeah.
for a roller coaster, baby.
Yeah, he was like, I think I can do that. And the doctor's like, you can do it, I promise. So, but that's kind of like her jam, unless the guy gets like queasy or passes out or whatever. You know, obviously she's not going to force anyone.
Could
but
totally happen. Yeah, I mean, I feel like
yeah.
Mac's seen a lot. He'll be good. He'll
Johnson
be
would be queasy if it was his
For
kid,
sure. Johnson would
You think
pass
so?
out.
Yeah,
feel like
I've
in
passed
the-
out getting a shot before, like walking
Oh,
out of the
yeah.
doctor's
He
office.
passed out getting a tattoo. His first tattoo.
Oh
He
no.
passed out in the chair.
Yeah, but it
I was
wasn't like a
whoa.
full pass out. It was like a brief like.
He was like pale white. I was
Like one of those roller coaster pass outs.
yeah, where like I'm still conscious, but like I just like everything's. I'm
move.
kind of getting tunnel vision, and I just need to breathe, and
he gets
I
pale.
can still hear people, but like
Oh.
I don't know. Yeah,
That's actually very common though. I think that's probably
yeah.
more common than not.
I wanted to be a doctor, and then I was like bodily fluids. I don't think that's my
Yeah.
cup of tea necessarily.
Yeah.
You know,
Bodily fluids don't bother me except for like snot and pus.
pus.
Ooh.
Pus.
Just the word pus.
Just
Pus
the
is
worst.
weird.
You're just like, ugh.
But then we have homies like Hayes who just loves popping pimples and shit.
That's
You
Ugh.
wild.
That's like my mom. Like she's like, you gotta sit. Yeah, I'll get it.
No, that's
Yeah.
a special person.
I read this in a book that I'm reading recently. I
That's
thought
special.
I thought everyone would find this shit interesting. Do you know that all human babies are like technically premature because of the way we've evolved? So like think about like an elephant giving birth. Like they take about 2 years, I believe. It's a very extended pregnancy.
Yeah.
And the baby will drop out and it'll be walking within like 30 minutes. The
Yes.
baby elephant. Like so I guess back when the infant mortality rate was really high because like they didn't know how to give birth properly and whatnot. The bigger the baby, the bigger the head, the higher chance they had for like just like for having a bad birth and whatnot, and the baby passing. And so basically over the years babies started shrinking just so they could come out of the uterus and the pelvis easier. And so 9 months, that's why we still have to like, you know, teach them so much. They can't walk for, you know, the first
Year
9
and a
months to
half,
a year and a
right?
half
Yeah.
depending. And so like I guess the evolutionary track that we've been on has made it so babies are smaller than they used to be, and we have to teach them more, as opposed to other mammals. Most mammals they're on their feet pretty quickly within the first week at least, and so it's kind of, I found that very interesting.
Yeah,
that
that
is
is
really
crazy.
interesting.
Considering how small the people were back then too.
For
Like,
sure, yeah, and it's like the
What?
bigger headed babies, like, you know, just wouldn't be able to get out, and they would have like, you know,
They didn't have
complications.
C-sections probably back
Didn't
then.
have C-sections, had no way to do that, and so it was very dangerous for the mother and the child if the child was bigger. So over the years, I guess, just babies started shrinking, and
Well, and that's the thing. Like babies can quite literally get stuck,
Yeah.
and that is a dire situation for the baby and the mom.
That's another thing with how dangerous it is for the mother. Like,
Yeah. Oh well,
It's
yeah. I mean, the
crazy.
mother mortality rate in childbirth used to be back. I mean, a long time ago, but long after what you're talking
yeah,
about.
you're talking when they started
Hundreds
keeping
of
record
years.
and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah, exactly. The female or the mother mortality rate was so high.
Is giving birth something that like as it gets days and days closer, like you get anxious about,
Oh,
or
yeah.
you're so excited about it? Like,
Oh,
is
no,
a mix, obviously, because you want to see your baby, but
I'm excited for him to be here.
right.
I'm not excited to live through the process of getting him
Yeah.
My
here.
heart beats about that,
Yeah.
and I will never have to do that, like guaranteed.
I just have to get him some little shoes.
You remember-
Like,
Yeah.
I
Oh.
need to.
You went to Westside Middle School, right?
No, I went to Christ the King.
Oh yeah, you guys went to
Right,
8th grade,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had Ms. Jackson, our health teacher. And I remember we all had to watch the video of
Yeah.
a woman giving live birth.
What?
Oh.
Yeah. We had to watch that in health class.
I think we had to do that too.
I don't think I had to do that.
Oh, I don't know if I ever had to do that.
And
I've seen video. Well, I've been in the room with one of my friends when she gave
No
birth, so I've like
way.
witnessed
caught
it
some
now.
glimpses and whatnot.
Yes.
But she was saying, like, all the girls in our class were like, I'm never having a baby after
Right,
watching
right,
that. And I'm like, well, you get older and, you know, you learn that
Johnson's
you're
like
tough enough for it.
25 of that. You'll figure it out.
Why am I 25?
That's what you just did. Like that was the way you were like.
You were like calming all the girls down. In
Like
the
I
class.
was the one back then.
There are so many things that I'm like, okay, women have been doing this for thousands of years. Like, if they
Oh,
can
yeah.
do it in the middle of a field, I can do it in
The middle of a
hospital. Like,
field.
that's how they
It's
used
snowing
to do it.
outside, yeah, like
no
in a
sedatives,
teepee.
no nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like every single person you've ever met has a mother that did that.
Yeah.
Like that's. I mean, it seems so obvious, but
Dude,
it's like
your mom did that.
we
My mom
all
did it.
came out of a person. Like that's just crazy.
It's the
Yeah.
craziest thing.
It's super trippy.
Yeah.
Well, wow. I mean, we appreciate you opening up about all that shit with
Oh,
us.
yeah. Of course.
I kind of want to like bring it to like, you know, the back to the childhood a little bit. You're the oldest sister of 4,
I am.
and Sammy's the youngest.
He is.
He
I'm
is.
curious about like your guys' like sibling dynamic because I was around to witness a lot of it. I feel like I didn't have as close of a relationship with you in high school because Emily was still a senior when I was a freshman. No, Benny was still a
Benny
senior.
was, yeah.
And like Emily, she was dating Chris, who was in your
Yeah.
brother's grade, right?
You're
In
younger.
between.
Yeah, in between them.
Okay, got you. Yeah. So I feel like I was around them a lot. You were already at Lincoln, and I'm curious, like, what was your sibling dynamic? Do you have any fucking wild stories about Sammy growing up, like, or any of the siblings? And yeah, like, I'm just curious about how like, you guys
Yeah.
growing up. Your
I
dynamic.
actually have a funny story about you.
Oh my god, she just flipped this straight on my head.
Johnson, careful
No,
what you
no.
ask.
It was no, just about the fact that like you and I didn't know each other really, because I don't think that I technically had been around either of you until we all moved out to LA.
Yeah, I mean, we had
Yeah,
met,
of course we
obviously.
knew Annie Wilkinson.
We had met, but the first time, or one of the first times that you went over to our house, you know that by our stairs, how we have all the senior pictures hanging?
Yeah.
You guys were going, like running down the stairs or something, and you stopped and you looked at mine and you looked at Sammy and you said, "Who is that?" Like you had no
I didn't know there was a
idea
fourth
he-
Just
sibling.
have a random person.
Is that your cousin or?
Yeah. And so yeah, like I was out of the house, and I mean I was in college and then moved to North Carolina the day after I graduated college. So I wasn't around like really even Ben's group of friends.
Were you worried about them growing up? I mean, you're big sis, and they're all fucking reckless. They're all hooligans, you know, especially
Well,
in their
and
high school
I was
days.
like such a good, well-behaved kid.
Were you?
Oh yeah. Like I
She
never
wasn't-
I didn't get in trouble. I was never grounded until 2 weeks before I went to college. That was the first time I missed curfew.
And it was just because you were late by
Yeah.
a few minutes.
Oh, your parents were in for so much after that.
Oh my god, for real. They were already going through it with Emily.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Sammy's in 7th grade, just ripping UV blue shots. they don't even know about it
we're
yet.
literally
First-
11 years
the
old.
first
like-
time I ever drank anything was because Emily forced me to take a shot at UV red in the jock lot.
Yeah.
Getting drunk in the
Jock
jock lot was different.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, I mean, we all
I don't
went to
know.
we all went to the same high school. You
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, we'll explain this to you and the
Perfect.
listeners. We had this parking lot called the jock lot, which is where all the athletes would typically park on the
Johnson
The
didn't really
jock
spend much
lot,
time.
okay.
He
Yeah.
never got in
Yeah, yeah.
I was wondering
mean,
what you're saying. The
They didn't,
jock
let
lot.
they didn't let the tennis kids. fuck
No,
that.
no, they're like, you're on jogs, you play tennis.
But we would
also
go
the
there.
juniors would park
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, also the juniors
Yeah.
and on the hill.
And
But-
the occasional old sophomore.
We would pull up in there on the weekends and we would literally like get drunk in the jock lot.
Wasted. And
And on
cops
school
patrolled
premises.
that. Like we were
Wait,
so
you're
dumb
on.
for that.
You went to the school to get
We
drunk.
would get
Yeah,
drunk at
we
the
would get
school
drunk at the
every
school.
weekend, bro. In one of the parking lots.
Well, it was probably a football game, right?
You touch
Or
it.
no, just for fun.
It's like
Bro, we could have been the
literally-
only car in the
I was
parking
gonna
lot.
say there were times when we would be like the only car in the parking lot.
That makes sense though. Like, where are you gonna go in Omaha when you're not 21?
There's
That it was
nothing
that or
going
the
on.
Taco Bell parking lot.
Yeah,
Ooh.
we actually had a plug on the inside. He would get our
Yeah.
liquor. One of the employees.
Nate
Oh
Dogg.
my
Nate
god.
Dogg.
Oh, I remember you guys talking about him.
We talked about him on the podcast.
I hope you don't
actually, yeah.
incriminate him, but yeah, he was like he would buy us a lot of alcohol.
You didn't give his real government name, so you should be fine.
called
yeah,
him
Nate
Nate
Dogg.
Dogg.
Dog. I honestly feel like his license says NATEDOGG. Like I feel like it would.
No, but there was something about like just I don't know. Like, did we think that was the safest spot to get drunk? Was like in the high school parking lot?
Probably. It's like they're not gonna look here. Why would we be at school
We just
on
like
Saturday?
didn't care.
No,
We just like didn't know anything.
You were just on a mission and whatever to achieve that mission.
Like everyone grabbed
liquor, my body. Let's combine them.
Steal one water bottle worth.
Combine them.
Even if we all had $1, we would buy like a $7 handle of McCormick and just pass it around and it'd be gone. And we'd be like
blacked out.
Whoa.
Okay, that's literally was my freshman year of college.
Yeah.
We did the same thing.
But first time you drank though, it was you were what, a senior?
Yeah. Towards the end of my senior year.
Wait, that was the first
you
time
held
you ever
out for a
drank?
while.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I did. I told you I was a really well-behaved kid.
And like kids in our high school at Westside, I feel like we're just fucking partiers. Like,
well, and I was around it all the time, but I was just terrified of like letting mom and dad down.
I feel you.
Yeah.
First sibling, you know.
Yeah.
100%.
I was like my older brother. He didn't party in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then by my time, it was like mom's buying me.
Well, now
handles.
he's partying more than you are.
Way more.
Yeah, because he's like 10
he
years
went to
behind.
Vegas, Nashville, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Well, that's what happened to me though when I moved out here because I got 2 pretty serious jobs right out of school, and so when I moved out here, I ended up taking a step back, like for work,
For sure.
and went nuts.
Yeah. Well, you're what, 31?
32.
32. I feel like she's drank more in her 30s and all of her 20s.
Oh, when the day I woke up 30 years old, I was like, I'm in my prime, baby.
Yeah.
And I was
I
like
know what I'm doing.
most fun I've ever been.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Like
Yeah.
she would start hitting me up on like Fridays and Saturdays,
Like,
you know,
okay.
like before pregnancy. She's with her girlfriends, like drinking mimosas, getting fucking hammered.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is just great.
Yeah.
We would pull up sometimes, get drunk
Yeah.
with our friends. Yeah.
Yeah. 30s is awesome.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Oh,
Gives
it's the
me
dirty
hope.
30s, baby.
Oh yeah, so good. I'm trying to think of like
Okay,
This-
so we're 7 years apart. How
6 and a
old?
half.
6.5. How old were you? Was I?
gotta be specific on that.
Are you
6.5.
April or
May 1st.
May? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. May Day.
Oh, you're close to Baker, huh? Yeah.
Em and Baker are both in April.
Oh, I
And
think it
then
was May
I'm-
too.
No, he's April 14th.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I'm so bad.
Wait,
with
I think
birthdays.
it's my sister's fiance's birthday right now.
Well, you better hustle, buddy.
I got September
He's on the East
23rd.
Coast. You better hustle.
Yep.
But when you were like a junior, that makes. I was what, like in
When
You were like
like
2?
sixth grade when I was a
sixth
junior.
grade.
Why?
It's just no, I'm just like thinking about like that time of life,
Yeah.
and it's just
Like when we were all
crazy.
still in the house.
Yeah.
Well, like 7
Yeah.
years at that age is like 2 decades now.
Yeah.
100%. Like,
It's
and that's why I feel like when you came and stayed with us in Boston,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like, oh, now
Tour.
we're like on the same level. And I
Yeah.
felt like that's when we became like friends.
Yeah. for
That's
sure.
crazy. I was just
Yeah.
gonna say that. Like when you're growing up, it's like this is my big sister.
Right.
Yeah.
And now it's like you guys are more so peers, you
For
know,
sure.
and like just homies, like as opposed to anything else. Obviously, she's still the almighty one, you know, looking over you with a watchful eye. But yeah, it's trippy. Like I feel the same way with Jeff.
Same,
I'm
same,
like,
same.
oh,
Right when I turned 21 and we started drinking together, it was just like,
there's
Yeah.
no
It's a
big bro,
new
there's no
level
big bro,
of
little bro really
friends.
anymore. It's
yeah.
just
I was like, you don't have
Yeah.
to
We're
dad
grown.
me anymore. You know?
Yeah,
He still does,
exactly.
but you know.
And especially when there's a 6 or 7 year age gap, like we were just in different points of our lives until we came out here and we were both in our 20s. And it was like, oh, okay, now it's kind of game on. Now we
Yeah.
can all go have
That's
fun
one of the
together.
coolest
Yeah, it's
things
wild.
that all 4 of you at one point lived out here was. I was so jealous of that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Because Sammy would just like
Yeah.
go pull up on his siblings, and I'd be like, I would do anything to go pull up on my brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really is the best. I mean, I think
You're just not alone out here, which
Yeah.
is so easy to be alone out
yeah. Well, and I do think I take a lot of pride, I think you do too, in the relationship that the 4 of us have because
Agreed.
it
It's amazing.
is very unique
So
amongst
unique.
siblings.
It is.
Yeah.
Like
and
it's
so
even from my like I had my sister out here, but at that point, like I'm sober now, but like we were on such different wavelengths. I could go smoke some weed with her and like chill and watch a movie. That was cool. But like you guys are all into the exact, almost like not the exact same thing, but you're all on the exact same wavelength, so to speak.
Mhm.
And that's like something like I envy. That's so dope that like,
Yeah.
and there's 2 boys, 2
Yeah.
girls. Like the balance is nice. I just
Yeah.
think it's dope.
No, and
That's
you
the
guys
one
always
thing we're
admired
missing is
that.
some girls, because our relationship's great, but there's a lot of testosterone in that room.
Yeah.
Well, and it is different when you have a sister. Like I think
Yeah.
sisters throw a much, I don't want to say it's like mom, but
It totally
it's just a different relationship I think between brother and sister.
Yeah.
Have you ever had like a protective like little bro moment over either of your sisters?
It's a good question.
For sure. Well, the first.
Wait, that one club, remember, in Benny and
That's what my
Rihanna.
Oh my
Well,
god.
every time
Benny,
that,
you
like-
guys are in Lindo, you guys
Yeah.
are just chucking people.
Well, if all 4 of us go to a club, like
We're
I
getting
think
kicked
it's like
out.
10 out of 10 times we've gotten kicked out, like dragged out of the club.
Yeah, and on 2 occasions we were damn near arrested.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened? A bouncer pushed Emily or something?
Well,
Me.
okay, so this time
Who
we're
pushed you?
So it was
Yeah.
us 4 and like a few of our friends, and we went to One Oak, correct?
Yeah.
And me and Ben
Just fully putting them on
were like,
blast.
yeah, fuck you, One Oak, and all your fucking.
One Oak's done, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gone. So
Go to New York.
But me and Ben were like, we're fucked up. We're like, let's go find some chicks. And so we like stumble our way to this table, and like these girls like came up to us and were like talking, and the head honcho of that table got sick about it.
Oh,
And like
great.
rallied up the security guards. And some guy just comes behind me and fucking swoops me up and like pulls me back, and I'm like stuck like this, so I got nothing. And
You're like,
then
what did
Ben
I
sees
do?
that. Yeah,
Like-
I'm just like tweaked, like hammered.
We're in a
like,
club.
I'm
dude.
hitting on a girl.
Yeah.
And
in
we're
a
all
club,
drunk.
which is what you're supposed to do.
Exactly. And then Ben, he sees that, obviously, and he comes up and, like, rips the guy's hands off of me, grabs the guy, and fucking throws him over this whole other, like, different table. Drinks spilled everywhere. And now it's, like, a big scene. And, like, Lindo was there, and
This
Lindo
is what
starts
caught
getting...
my attention.
So now Annie and Emily get involved.
No, it was just me.
Okay, so
So
continue. I
yeah,
forget.
so I turn around. I hear this whole commotion behind me, and I'm at like our original table, and I turn around and I see is Ben walking through like just straight towards the bar
Yeah.
and just tossing security
Bro,
guards.
all
like,
the
as
security
they
guards
come.
went flying.
Yeah.
Like, literally flying.
Sammy, at this point, you are actually picked up and getting hauled
Yeah.
out the front door. But Ben's just tossing him. And I see him get to the bar. And my first thought was like, maybe Ben doesn't need another drink.
Yeah, for sure.
So I
I thought
walk
that a few times.
So I walk over and I put my hand on his shoulder. And they thought, the security thought I was trying to start something. Because all I was going to say was like, yo, let's go figure out what's going on with Sammy. And because you were already outside.
Yeah.
The security guards grabbed me and put my hands behind my back because they thought I was like trying to instigate something with Ben.
And Benny hated that shit.
Oh, so I have my hands behind my back. It's two guys and me, and I'm like, I mean, I get it. I'm a tall girl, but like, what am I gonna do? And
I
so
don't know, man. You whoop some ass.
Put some paws on
I've
some
thrown
people.
down before. So I end up getting pushed outside and like onto the ground. And that's when Ben and Sam see that, and they go and they tackle the two guys that are holding me down.
Fucking real ones.
And I
Fucking
literally
realize.
thought I was God. Like, I thought I was actually God. And, like, these cops were just, like, they were just, like, watching. And I was like, fuck you and fuck you. Get the and, like, the head security guy, I
Yeah.
forget his name. And I'm like, you better fix the whole security system because this is all bullshit. Like,
Sammy just came alive.
He's like Gordon Ramsay
Well,
on
and
the
then
fucking
there's an off
peep in the kitchen, critiquing him.
It's for real. There's an off-duty cop standing there, and we're all like, "What the fuck is happening?" And the off-duty security guard starts filming Sammy, and Sammy, or not off-duty, the off-duty cop. Sammy
weird thing to
walks
do.
over and slaps his phone out of his hand. And this is you probably don't even remember
I
this.
don't know.
Your adrenaline was so high you
Yeah.
blacked it out. But you slap the phone out of his hand and you go, "What are you, a cop or fucking paparazzi?" So then he calls the cops. And Ben,
He was a fucking cop.
yeah, exactly. But he calls the guys that are like on duty to come over. And when they get there, Sammy just goes, "You want to arrest me for protecting my sister? Do it."
Oh my god, bro.
So he
Hit
puts
all
his
the
hands out,
bars.
And
He
I
was
was
the
like,
main character
nobody's
that
getting
night.
arrested. I like went into shutdown mode. But that has happened on 2 occasions.
I mean, Hawaii.
Oh yeah, 3.
Yeah. Well then, this random thought or this random night just popped in my head. Remember when we went to On the Rocks?
I was gonna tell this story actually, but go ahead.
I mean, you probably might remember more of it than I do.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
We did a lot of Jaeger bombs.
Me and Annie went out by ourselves one night.
Well,
Where
no, we
was it?
went with Guthie.
Oh, word.
Yeah, we went with, it was the 3 of us. Because I was in my 20s still, but I texted you and asked if you wanted to hang out. And you were like, "I'm at Guthie's, come through." So I pulled up over there. We had a couple drinks over there. And then for whatever reason, we ended up at On the Rocks.
Yeah. And so we're upstairs at On the Rocks and we're ripping Jaeger bombs.
Oh,
That's probably my least favorite alcohol. Like,
Yeah.
not even close.
It gets
I
you fucked up.
know I'm going to black out when I do that.
Yeah. And then for me, I don't know if it's different for you, but I basically like came out of my blackout and we're both I literally I'm missing all of this and then I wake up out of my blackout and we're both sitting on the curb crying. I think we were both crying. And we're like
We were
telling
sitting on it.
I forget
So-
what the fuck we were talking about, but we're like emotional as fuck for some reason.
Yeah, I don't remember what we talked about, but I do remember Guthie leaving because he was like torn up about some chick.
For sure.
Sounds
And so
about
he
right.
was like, "I gotta go,
Classic.
guys." And so you and I were like, "All right, well, we'll stay." And we just kept drinking.
Yeah.
And then when they closed down the bar, you and I don't know if we couldn't get an Uber or what, but we ended up emotional as hell. And we were just sitting on the curb, and people were like asking us if we were okay.
We're fine.
You guys need help?
Fine.
No, we're just like having a moment.
It's kind of beautiful, to be honest.
That really is.
Oh,
It
beautiful.
is.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Damn, this is making me want to go brawl at a club tonight.
I swear.
Oh.
This other time in Hawaii.
No, please, no.
Yeah, so we gotta
Me
stop
and Sammy
that.
have been in way too many of
Too many
those.
of that. But the Hawaii time, it was
Yeah.
me, the siblings, and then Bacon Mac,
Mm-hmm.
and we're at a club.
And Baker's brother and
Oh yeah, and
now
Matt
sister-in-law.
and Kennedy,
Yeah.
and we're at a club, and it's probably like the 5th night, so we're all fucking hungover. We're just
No,
fighting.
it was early. We were only there for like 4 nights, 4 or 5 days. I can't remember, but it was early on. It was like the 2nd or 3rd night maybe.
Yeah, and
But Sammy was in a very vulnerable place.
like
you know when
I got the scaries bad.
Yeah.
I'm like a bit like not sure who I am.
Yeah.
Just like tweaked for sure.
One of those eras of life.
And so we're at the club, and there's a couch like right next to me. So I'm like, I'm gonna sit down to this, obviously, because I'm tired and I'm like scared. And and so I sit down, and I'm like, everyone's right around me, and then like a security guard comes up, and he's like, "Don't stand there, or sit there." And I was like, "Fuck, all right." So I stand up, and then I'm like talking, and then like the edge of the higher part of the couch, is like still like right by my
Yeah, you
ass.
can kind of like lean.
And so like while I'm talking, I'm not thinking like, oh fuck this guy. I was just
Yeah.
you
talking.
weren't even really talking. You were just like listening to the
Or
conversation.
just listening,
Yeah.
sure.
You
And,
were like you were at the point where like no conversation was happening.
Yeah.
You
You
should
for
do
you.
that more.
Yeah, for sure.
Just like listen more.
Shut up, man. And so I sit down, and then out of nowhere, fucking a big Hawaiian motherfucker,
Those
like
guys are big
Yeah.
and strong.
Samoan or whatever it is.
Oh god, this is tough.
Big, like the whole security team was those.
Oh yeah,
And
their family.
He comes up and fucking and yeah, it's all one
Their
family.
sisters are
Identical
sleeping us too.
sleeves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Isn't it crazy? Like you have to have the same tattoo to be a Samoan?
Tribal for
To be
sure.
a Samoan, yeah, you have to have the
Yeah,
same
that's
tattoo.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking like that is a part of their culture. Like
Yeah, big
Sure.
time, big time.
yeah.
Tribal ties.
But this big motherfucker, I think he just comes and picks me up again.
Well, the cocktail waitress said, "I asked you once, you're out of here." And
Yeah.
then they just like
And I was like, whoa.
appeared.
And like they all like came out of the fucking woodwork, like straight out the ground,
They use the Hawaiian
and
juju.
fucking picked me up, and then just ripped me like it wasn't nice. It was fucking. He was literally like picked me up over his head and was taking me out of this club, and then Ben didn't like that, right?
Well, nobody did
No
because he
chance.
hadn't done anything.
Yeah,
He wasn't
Like,
aggressive.
There
I was
were-
being
there are
respectful.
certain times when we're like,
Okay, that's
You
warranted.
deserve.
yeah.
You deserve.
sometimes it's like
We're all
well,
blacked out.
He was being a smartass.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like Sammy can get mouthy, but he truly that time did not do. I mean, he hadn't said a word all night.
He had,
Like,
he had the scaries.
He
like
was
you
just trying
said.
not to cry, quite
Yeah.
honestly, like
Yeah.
all night long.
He's like, I can't stay home, so I guess I'll go.
Yeah, so we were all kind of like, whoa, 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 like what's going on? And they just hauled us all out of there.
Yeah, big time. And then I mean, there's just so much of that night that was so funny. We'll just buy the whole fucking bar then, like just fucking.
I will open a line of credit and you will be closed down by morning.
That sounds like a fucking movie.
Fuck.
The new NFL flex.
Oh
It
my
was
God,
It
yeah.
wasn't even him.
It wasn't him though. Yeah, it
I was
his-
like, I can't see him
his
saying
brother.
It's
No,
like that. It's
yeah.
like that one movie. Me and you watched it.
So funny.
Some ladies like getting
that. Oh well,
bitched
that's
out by hotel
Crazy Rich
security.
Asians.
Was it? Oh yeah, in the beginning,
Yeah.
right?
It's a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
movie,
She's
great
getting
movie.
bitched out by
movie.
hotel security, and then like she
just
buys
silently
it.
goes away.
She
and then,
silently makes a phone call and like it's
Yeah.
hers. She buys the whole hotel type shit. And I'm like, oh my
what
god.
a flex.
Yeah, it'd be a great flex to have in
Yeah.
your back pocket. You guys have been in your fair share of nightly brawls. It sounds
Yeah.
like family
for
brawls
sure.
should we call them?
Those are
Well,
just
it's
good
just-
memories though.
Yeah.
No one got hurt. No one's in jail.
No, and it is one of those things like we've always kind of been, even since we were little, like if you mess with one of us, you're going to have to,
Yeah.
like,
The whole clan's coming.
yeah,
out.
you're going to get all of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it should be.
It's the
Yeah,
same
that
for
is
people
family.
that date any of us.
Yeah. Well, one time.
Yeah, you're gonna hang out with us too. Yeah.
Well, yeah, not only that, but like,
Same with my family. Like, you
I would
can't-
assume
if you
that
can't
it would-
hang out with my parents though, it's like,
right.
where does this go?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Because they're fucking dope, and if you can't hang out there, I don't know.
Yeah, well, they say
Yeah.
like when you get into a marriage, you're marrying the family.
100%.
But I think even dating us probably has to be
For
a nightmare
sure.
for a lot of people.
For sure.
Because you guys are so close, and they probably
Yeah.
become so close with all the siblings and everyone in the family,
Right.
like rapidly.
Prideful family.
Either that or they don't, and then it's
Yeah.
an issue.
So you know how to weed them out, type shit. Yeah, the ones
yeah.
that stick are the ones that.
Have
you
I
know.
ever like brought somebody home or anything like that, and you've been like, this chick sucks?
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna have to say yeah.
Probably. For
I'm gonna
sure.
speak for Annie on this one. Has to.
Has to.
I think the biggest thing was just like anytime you bring someone home, it's usually like, okay, well, we'll see if she's still here next weekend.
Sammy's got a new girlfriend every week.
Yeah,
You know,
like
just
he
how
wants to live in a rom-com, and he's
He
just
does.
That is
he's
such a
casting
good-
And he has the ability to do so.
Yeah, he's casting his leading lady, and that's okay.
Every weekend before we go out, he's like,
He holds
I'm
crazy
feeling
auditions.
rom-com vibes right now.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, Sammy,
He's just
you're not
looking for
McConaughey,
his,
dude.
he's
Relax.
looking for his Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I
I
remember
love
one
it.
night, it's just a random rom-com moment that I just remembered. We were in Miami not too long ago, and we're just like at this really cool function. Honestly, like it was fine. Like, it
Is
was
this the one the older man was throwing?
yeah, maybe. It was a great big house.
You just described every function in my
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
Most likely.
It was like some sugar daddy, like, you know, mogul. Who
They
just
didn't want
like,
to let us in for like an
Yeah.
hour, and we still are in there. It's
Yeah.
like
This
somehow.
just is like such a. This night describes almost like half of my Sammy memories right here. It's like
Oh, no.
you have a great pool at this house. Everyone's like, yeah, you can swim if you want. Like, you know,
oh
no
my
rules.
god, this is hilarious.
And there's beautiful girls, you know, great liquor, good guys around too, you know, like we're all just having fun. All of our friends are there. There's no one
Oh no.
at the house next door.
There's like 50-year-olds like fist pumping. So
Yeah, you can go like
The
talk,
vibe.
you know, like I don't know. But then, you know, Sammy's got his
He's got a
Natalie
ting.
Portman
Uh,
on this night. And he's like, I gotta go make a rom-com. I'm like, oh shit, like,
oh,
let's
no.
do this.
Did you get in the pool?
no, because that would have
Okay.
been completely fine,
Okay.
you know.
Oh,
And he wanted
okay.
to make a rom-com.
He did get an A
you know?
pool though.
Yeah, wait till you hear this.
There's like
Oh
a
my
there's like a
God.
probably like a I don't know, like a 7-foot fence.
like a little hill going down to the
Yeah, a
next
little
house.
hill. Like you can kind of see through the fence, see that there's like it's dark over there, but they have a nice pool too. But there's no party going on over there. And he just like jumps the fence, somehow gets this girl over the fence too. I don't know how. And then
Did you
like
meet her in Miami?
I think he met her
I think you
30
met her
minutes prior.
12,
Yeah.
12
Yeah.
minutes max.
you want to make a rom com? She's like, what does that mean?
But any
My
girl
Portman.
hears rom-com and they're like, sure, I'm down.
McConaughey.
Then
And then-
like 40 minutes later, we're like, okay, so they're just swimming.
I was like, did Sam
whatever.
leave?
And then, yeah, some big guy comes up. Me and Stephen Kelly were like hanging out. I don't know, talking to people, and someone was like, "Is this your boy?" And they have Sam like looking like kind of drunk, like Sam.
Soaking wet.
Soaking
all the
fucking
clothes.
Just with us.
His
anyway.
clothes are on, but they're
Huge hole in your
soaking wet,
pants.
huge hole. And we're like, yes, that's like a really good boy. Why? What's going on? And
Where
we
did
just
you
found
find
him in the
him?
neighbor's pool. Like,
There's a
you
pool
guys
right
need to
here,
leave.
dude.
And then luckily someone knew someone, and we didn't have to leave. But it was just so funny because like the guy was getting mad. He's like, "Why don't you just swim in our pool? Like that's a really rich guy next door." And he's like pissed off. He's looking at his cameras. He's out of town.
We ought to calm down. We're like, you got to realize our buddy, he wants to be in a rom-com. So-
And he eventually understood. It's like, okay, this is
Sammy's walking around the party the rest of the day.
Bro,
Bro, my shoes are like
Soaking
still
wet.
damaged.
And the
from
funniest
that.
thing though is if we saw this if you saw this the next day from like a bird's eye view, it was probably the least rom-com
Oh
thing of
my
all time.
The worst.
Sammy just sloppily like going over her face.
babe,
Let's go
come
make out
on."
in this pool. I swear it'll be fun. It's like,
But it was a thrill, and I think that's what you
Yeah.
strive after is
Yeah.
getting caught, and then you might be able to explain yourself. Maybe you get in trouble, but it's all gonna be okay, and it's a memory.
Yeah.
Well, and when
That's-
Sammy has had a lot to drink, his hips and his joints get real loose.
yeah. He's a
So
walking
I-
noodle. Yeah.
So I can just imagine getting over the fence and then being dragged back by the guy, like just real loose.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Real loose, not really trying to walk for the guy.
No.
Yeah.
Stand up, Like
We were asking Sam in the morning, why'd you go in the... No idea. No
Yeah.
clue, honestly.
Pants are still on, soaking.
God, I feel like there's a million of these fucking stories.
Oh,
No, there was
yeah.
one. You told me the one in Mexico of you on a different
Oh, my
rom-com.
God.
Oh, you
fell
almost
off,
broke your
you
face.
fell off
Neck,
a cliff.
Everything, I think, almost
Wow.
died.
Oh,
Well, not
Oh.
actually, but like,
You haven't told this story.
no, I think I told you this.
You told me this. You
it's
haven't told
secret.
this.
Oh, the whole story, yeah. Well, we went to. You weren't. Were you there? You weren't there.
Was that
No.
when you went fishing
Yeah.
and shit?
Whoa.
Whoa.
I had a bubble in my head.
Bubble boys.
Yeah, no, it was like
Starts floating.
Did it sound that crazy?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like 15 of us. We were in Cabo.
that's this past year, right?
Yeah, it was in
No, that's-
February, March, April.
Was that Ben's birthday?
It was
Just keep
March.
naming
It
months.
was March because the
Yeah,
day
yeah.
you guys flew back is the day I found out I was pregnant.
Holy shit.
So spring
Wow.
break.
yeah,
type
Yeah.
vibes.
March 10th ish.
Yeah.
But
Makes sense. Cabo,
yeah, but like, I met some people on that trip, like some people from Dallas that came and stayed at the same house, and a girl came. Long story short, we ended up,
Making a
fast
rom-com.
forward, we ended up making a rom-com, and we're beer pong partners at this moment, and it's the end of the night, and I'm like, all right, it's time to go make the rom-com. I think like maybe I made the last shot,
Oh, so the rom-com had started.
Yeah, I think it began.
Oh, it was like
And-
the beginning scenes.
Yeah, it was the
Winning
yeah,
shot
it
of beer
was-
pong and cue rom-com.
Yeah, cue rom-com. And
He picks her up.
You were Ashton Kutcher in this one.
He
Yeah,
turns
it was.
around.
This
That
is
one's for
definitely
you,
a
baby.
coach.
yeah, that's for you, babe. Come on. And I turn around and I like reach my hand back and I'm like, come on, like I was probably gonna go to the neighbor's pool, and I'm like, grab my hand,
You were like in $1 million mansion.
and I turn around like this and I reach my hand out and I'm like kind of running at the same time, and she grabs my hand, and I fall straight off the cliff. Like there's like a retaining wall and there's like a 10-foot drop to like a whole mountain, like a Cabo San Lucas mountain, you know?
Like rocks.
And rocks, dirt, like
edge of the
like
water
it's
vibes?
like, yeah, no, not water, because the water's like far down. Like we're on the mountain, and then like the water's down
So
there.
even worse is what you're saying.
Yeah, and so I fucking am reaching back, grab hand touches, fucking, and then like out of nowhere I smack my head on like the ground, and like I'm like basically knocked out, and I'm like, what the
She was
fuck?
probably like, what
and
the
like I'm like,
Oh yeah, she was shook.
like
this
I
isn't a
hit-
rom-com.
yeah, bad.
It's a tragedy.
I hit and then like I roll a little bit, and then like there's a rock that stops me, and I'm like, whoa, and I'm like, I come to, and I look up, and she's fucking like just tweaked. She's like, Sammy, and I'm like, holy shit, and I like get up, and like I can tell my face is fucked. I'm like checking my teeth,
Oh, that's the worst feeling.
and like my pants. I look down, my pants are fucked, and like she pulls me up. I think it was all part of the rom-com. Like this was all necessary.
yeah.
And she like
This was the conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she pulls me up the retaining wall, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, you pushed me? Like, what the fuck was that? And then I'm like laughing, she's laughing, and then she goes into doctor mode, and she's like,
oh, so sweet.
there's got to be like a med kit somewhere. And I was like,
This
honey,
is actually a rom-com.
honey, like, please, like, I need help. Like, and she's like, you're bleeding all over your face. And I was like, grab the thing, like, meet me in the bathroom. Like, I need you to stitch me
Where's
up.
everyone else at this point?
They're like around, because I started,
Okay.
like, they're seeing this, and they're like, okay, well, she'll handle it. And and then, yeah, like, I was like, you need to stitch me up. My pants are shredded. I got blood everywhere. And she's like dabbing alcohol, putting Band-Aids.
Oh.
And yeah, like, that's really like, it's not the end of the rom-com, but it's like close to the end of the rom-com.
Right, that's where it
And,
goes.
You made sweet love after she bandaged you up.
you know, that's just for you to figure out yourself.
You know when you ask me if I worry about my siblings?
Yeah.
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 There's reasons like that because
Yeah.
I'm at home, just found out I'm pregnant, and I get a text. It's like Sammy fell off a cliff, and I'm like, excuse me, what the
Give
fuck?
me some more context. You
cliffhanger.
can't- You can't just text
yeah,
me that.
I'm like, what do you mean? And they were like, no, he literally fell off a cliff, and then he sent me a photo of his face, and
It's
I was
just
like,
scabbed up.
Your
yeah.
face was fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
I thought you got in a fight. Actually,
was
I was
bad.
like, of course you get in a fight.
But
Big
those things are
deal.
necessary for like the story arc in rom-coms, you know? Like,
Yeah.
they have to happen.
It has to have the climax and the
One of these
downfall.
days, you do need to like write a rom com and sell it.
and
That's
star
what
in
you
it.
need to do, bro.
Yeah,
I think we should
Use
all.
a lot of
you
personal
could
experience.
cast Bruce.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah,
be lit.
cast.
That's Bruce. As the love interest.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Your love interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We good?
Do I'm sexy. I could probably pull it off.
Actually, no. We'll cast you. I'm a really good casting director. I don't know if you guys know.
I
this.
believe
Really?
it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm so good at it. We'll cast you as like the guy that's perfect on paper that she should be with.
Right, but she wants this rugged
You
off
hear
the
that?
cliff.
You hear that,
she
folks?
wants, yeah, but she wants the swan dive off the cliff.
Yeah.
That is
For like no
actually-
apparent
She
reason.
needs the edgy, tatted guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that would be a hit.
But her parents love me.
Yes.
They
Oh,
love
all
me.
signs point to you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She just can't get her fucking hands off.
I text back.
Yeah.
Everything.
Let's
good.
relax.
Yeah.
You're like golfing
but
the
then
movie.
he
Her
ends up-
dad.
But then he ends up coming through and like saving a puppy. And then it's like, oh, he actually
Shows
is
his-
a really good
shows
guy.
his good side,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And then everyone actually can get on board with like the idiot.
And you still see me like live a happy life somewhere else, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is he salty?
Either that or you become a sociopath.
I think
Like, there-
that would be a better
usually-
story
yeah.
if
Yeah.
we do that.
And a little more
Usually
accurate
they-
for Bruce.
And I would
Right.
love to try to play a sociopath.
It could turn into like a murder mystery too. Like
Ooh, this is what
now,
I'm talking about.
yeah, like you want to.
Ooh.
back at me.
What is it then?
Ooh, yeah.
One
Because
of
I'm the
my-
good guy.
One of my high school friends and I used to always joke about how funny it would be if you sold this movie or this movie idea or whatever, and you made the trailers and everything, and in the first 35 seconds, the hero and main character dies.
That's kind of like Game
Game
of
of
Thrones.
Thrones.
Yeah, that's
Like,
that's
everyone
so
who thinks
true.
the main character.
I'm
dead.
like, what?
Yeah.
Wait, no, I love him.
Yeah.
and he's the main guy.
But to
like
have
Ned
it
Stark
be
when he dies,
like-
I was like,
Like
well,
instant.
you know,
Because
yeah,
they
you
never
should've
kill
watched
out.
it
Like
already.
we're watching like Money Heist right now, and
Yeah.
none of the main characters, I guess what the Oslo dude made, but like none of the main characters have died yet, and I'm like, damn, I kind of want to see.
yeah.
Yeah, but to sell it as like an action movie and the main
Wow.
hero dies and then it becomes a rom-com.
Like it's all
it's like and
That's a
then
hit.
then
all-
two
it's all-
people meet at his funeral
That's
and
gotta
like
be
that's
genius
what it's
promo.
about.
it's all promoted
Yeah.
Or
around
marketing or
It's
whatever.
promoted around Bruce
Yeah.
Willis. You think Bruce Willis is the main guy?
Yeah.
Like, he is the main guy, and then just instantly,
Yeah,
he's on all the
exactly.
posters and shit.
It's
and
my
he's-
face over Bruce Willis' body.
Yes. Yes, and then it becomes about the man that his daughter meets at the funeral
Yeah.
and like their life together.
Wow.
That would be fire.
That's
Yeah.
You
that'd
get
be
a bunch
good.
of guys to buy tickets.
That's exactly
and they,
right.
They force their wives to come.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to
And
see
their
this.
wife leaves happy. Happy wife,
Yes.
happy life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're getting sucked.
Whoa.
You're getting sucked that night.
I like this marketing scheme.
This is crazy.
It's a good
It's like if you
marketing
take your
scheme.
wife to a
Yeah.
Broadway show, you know, you're getting sucked that night.
Wow.
The chances
I didn't
definitely
know.
You're so
rise.
dumb.
Oh
my
man,
gosh.
should we take some fan questions?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm down. Yeah,
Because
let's
I'm
do
sure
that.
they have way better questions about pregnancy than
All right,
us.
guys, it's Ask the Cast time. We told you we're having Annie on,
Yes.
Sammy's pregnant sister.
Wait, but what
If
is
you had
Ask
any-
the Cast, Johnson?
Oh, Ask the Cast. Oh, so basically every week we do a segment where we have fan submitted questions. We've been starting to do video versions as of recent.
Yes.
Last episode, you can check out the first video version.
We love it because
Nice.
when you read a question, you're like, it just, oh, they must be just like me because I read it and
It's
it
just
sounds
words
like
on
me.
Instagram.
But then,
comment.
like, we found, like, Emily from Liverpool.
Liverpool. You can hear
and the
their
way
accent.
she speaks.
Yeah.
And then some girl from Chicago, Allie. I don't,
Jasmine.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Just, it's cool to see your guys' faces, so thanks for sending these in.
Yeah, and so if you guys actually want to partake in this segment in future weeks, the email is always open. Out of pocket, askthecast@gmail.com. Let's see who we got first.
Hi guys, this is Andrea, and my two questions are: what was the biggest trouble Sammy got in as a kid?
We covered that.
Every detail. And my second question is: what is the hardest thing to do while you're pregnant? Bye guys. Congrats, Annie.
Oh,
First of all,
Aw.
her voice is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Adorable accent. That's
Yeah.
like what I
South
want my wife's
American?
accent to be.
Yeah,
like,
no, that was beautiful.
I love a Latina
Sweet girl.
accent.
So, yeah, so we kind of covered this. Or did we not? I don't know. I mean, what was the most trouble, like, your parents put them in? Or maybe you weren't.
I mean, that-
around.
I think it's more like the most trouble I put my parents in.
Yeah. That was
Through.
all happening like when I was already out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part two, though.
Yeah.
I guess we sort of discussed it. Is there anything else you found like very difficult while being pregnant? Just like things that you do every day. Like I see you do spin cycle classes and shit. Like have
Yeah.
those been obviously
You
more
can't do it, or
difficult?
can you?
Yeah, no, you can
You
work
can
out
still
and do
work.
all that.
You can't do it after you deliver the baby for 6 weeks.
For
or-
at least 6 weeks.
Okay.
Well, I'm a stomach sleeper, and you can't sleep on your stomach.
So am I.
That's
Wow.
yeah, that's one of the hardest things.
Well, you can't sleep on your
Um,
back either, can you?
No, because the baby will lay on your main artery along your spine, and
So
you can
si-
lose blood flow.
you
So you
gotta be
have to sleep on
sideways.
your side. Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
I did not know that.
I will say, like, the bigger I've gotten, just doing normal tasks is harder. Like getting up off the couch, you'll have to like work yourself to the edge of the couch and then get up. So I think it just everything becomes just a little bit tougher.
Just
But
mobility and
yeah,
I feel you.
just yeah.
Well, we appreciate the question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's great
thank
questions.
you.
Let's see what we got next.
Hi guys. So I have this theory that guys who have older sisters are the most respectful of women and like understand women better and know how to treat a woman. So I just see this amongst a lot of my guy friends, and I think my little brother knows how to treat women better than a lot of his guy friends and just guys in general. So let me know your thoughts. I want to know Sammy's sister's opinion too, and whether she thinks that applies to Sammy or any of the other guys with older sisters.
Wow.
She's
Oh,
so
she
adorable.
is
So
adorable.
soft
Thank you for
Oh,
your
yes.
question. Okay, so outside of like the 8 girls he's ghosted in the last couple of months, what's your opinion?
Well, like clearly we're way more respectful.
Yes,
because
clearly.
we got sisters. So
Yep.
boys, but
She kind of snuck diss you? Snuck
Yeah.
dissed?
No, listen. If
Both
I have
you?
a girl, I'm treating
No,
her like
you-
a queen.
I've never
seen.
Honestly, our friend group is good.
yeah, we're
It's great.
respectful.
Do you think that dynamic plays a part though? Like having.
I think that guys that have older sisters are just more aware of like women in general. So I think there's more, because guys with older sisters can still be shitheads to girls they date. Like that's just
100%.
that's
sure. It's a
we
case
can-
to case basis.
yeah, we
obviously.
can all be shitheads to whoever we date.
Yeah.
But I think there's just more of an awareness of like how women think, and so I think it can probably be perceived as more respect.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
yeah. I mean,
I think it's
you
pretty
seem like a
accurate.
pretty respectful guy. Like when you're actually talking to him and stuff.
what does that mean?
Like when you're actually talking to him. Like
Yeah,
Before
well,
you before you cut it off and
talk
like,
to
break
the-
their heart and
the
shit.
girls, and you just talk to the boys.
Well, okay. I mean, it works both
So-
ways. She didn't specify, sexual preference.
I know. I was just telling them that's how it usually happens.
You know, dude, you gotta cut it out with the gay jokes, all right?
It's bi curious.
Bi curious, whatever.
By curiosity.
I'm just
Good
not-
question. Great. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
Yes,
Thank you so
yes.
much.
Yeah.
All right, who we got next?
Okay, good day, everyone.
Good
Sorry
day.
for the darkness. My the light in this room broke, so
We believe you.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm wondering what your guys' top names are for your potential kids someday,
Top name.
boy and girl.
Ooh, this is a
if you
good
guys are
question.
looking to have kids.
I know
But
you have a fire one.
What are your baby
Yeah.
names list?
Top name.
I'm also
Great
sitting by
question.
That is a
Wait,
really
what was her
good
name?
question.
She got good nail
Okay.
color too.
Have a
Wait,
great
back it up
night.
a couple seconds. I just want to hear her name.
Is she wearing a Louis Tomlinson shirt?
I think Sydney. I think she said her name is Sydney, if I'm not mistaken. It's at the very
Okay,
end.
good day, everyone. Sorry for the dark name, by the way.
Ooh, right there.
I'm also Sydney, by the way.
Sydney.
Sydney.
Love
Okay.
Sydney.
Good nail color. You see that nail color?
I know.
That was good.
Thank you, Sydney.
Potential names. Okay, this is a thing. Okay, it's specifically about your
Don't
your
say
name
it.
that you want,
Wait,
or
no,
you don't want to say.
I don't want to. Okay, listen.
it. Okay.
I don't want to say it because I
It's such a
really
good
do.
name.
Like, I really believe I'm going to use this as my first name,
Yeah.
and I think it's a very adorable name, and I don't want people to steal it.
I wanted to talk to you about this because
Sammy's over here gatekeeping baby names right
It's
now.
similar to the name I'm using.
No, I feel you.
Yes,
I feel
yes,
you.
Yeah.
it is. That's another reason you shouldn't say.
Yeah,
it.
but sorry.
No,
to cut
no,
you
go,
off.
go.
Somebody that me and this girl that came up with the name together,
Mm-hmm.
her manager.
Who was that girl? You don't have to say it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I'm so
But
curious
her
though.
manager just had a baby and used
Oh.
our first name as the middle name, and I'm like,
Really?
you're a fucking loser.
So she spilled the beans. She couldn't keep it behind her lips. She
Well,
must have
no
told
one
the
knows
manager.
now, but
Yeah.
now they do.
But like, it's her middle name, so no one cares about middle names. But
yeah,
um,
unless you're Hazer Nash.
correct.
True.
Yeah, that is true.
Their middles are their firsts.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say
Benjamin.
I don't know, but like I have a feeling I might have a kid before you.
You think that?
I do think that,
Yeah, well, you're not gonna use that name.
and I might.
Oh my
No, you can't. You just can't do that.
But like Jack and Jack, we're really good friends, you know.
No, but this isn't like a Jack and Jack.
it
It's
could
like
be in 2030.
Fred and Fred. It's like, no, this is a fucking unique name.
I love the name for a girl.
That's my first girl's name.
I know.
You need to tell me the name again, but you can't do that.
could
That's
say it.
fucked up.
No, don't say it.
He did call that. I mean, you literally
he
said
did,
that
and
name
that-
like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
He did, and
Yeah.
I've always been like so envious. I was like, whoa, simple but fire.
Can you call dibs
Yeah.
on a name?
Yeah, you can.
Definitely.
Especially in this close of a friend group, it's like it could throw everything off.
You're
If
right.
someone just takes your kid's name.
ruins
yeah,
the whole
you
relationship.
can't battle off of names.
Imagine like you're having babies like at the same time, and you beat him by like a week
Oh.
in terms of delivery, like
This is my
delivery,
baby.
and you just fucking name
No,
the name.
yeah, that's a great name.
There's like so many good names. You're creative. Too.
What if you
could-
just have all boys though? Eh?
No, but I already know. I think I'm gonna have a girl for the first.
Yeah, I'll have a girl. for
Okay,
the
you're
first
having a
as well.
boy.
Yeah.
You already know his name. If you had a
Uh-huh.
girl, were there any girl names?
Our girl name was Noah Gray.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
That
Yeah,
is
thank
really
you.
beautiful.
I like that.
Noah
Yeah.
Gray. That's like super. Yeah,
Yeah,
an eloquent name.
thank you.
What about you?
Bruce, talk to me.
I haven't put much thought into it.
Rupert.
I like the name Cassius for sure, and
Cassius is
with my
hard.
last name it would be cool.
Cassius
but
Carter. That's hard.
Would you call him
Yeah,
Cash
that's
or
Cash Carter. Fuck yeah, bro. That's his
Cash?
nickname. You
or
already
you
know.
just call him Cassius?
Probably
Or would you call him
double
Muhammad?
C's? I'm just kidding.
Cece. Yo, Cece.
Chanel.
Cece. That's my mom, Cece. No, I like Cassius, but I don't know if I would ever use it. But I think
That is a dope name.
it would be
It is
cool
cool.
with my last name.
Cassius Harlem Carter.
What about you?
They're just white as
Whoa.
Cassius
fuck.
Harlem.
He's just a
Cassius
white
Harlem
ass
Carter.
boy.
But then
It
you
just
have
came
to
out.
get him into like,
But it's hard.
you know,
I have to get.
basketball.
Cassius
Well,
Harlem.
that's
no,
a given.
you got to throw him into the streets.
My dad
and
said he's like, I'm
abandon
gonna
him.
steal one of whoever has a kid first. I'm stealing him, and I'm gonna make him a golfer.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because none
That's
of us
honestly
wanted
not
to
a bad
do it,
idea.
but he's like, I have to have one of your kids.
Is your name for boy and girl? Does it work both ways?
Ooh,
No, I mean,
it would be a savage boy name.
I love like
Savage Fenty?
I love
Yeah,
bisexual
for
names. I don't know, ambiguous names.
Ambiguous names. Noah.
Bisexual.
Noah.
Yeah, Noah.
Yeah.
Blake.
Noah's, Blake's,
Ryan.
You can Ryan's, yeah, girl Ryan's. I mean,
I love the girl Ryan.
The girl-
Jessica.
Some of those names I don't like as guy names, but I like them as what's that? Why are you swearing?
Jessica-
Jessica. I heard that. Actually.
what was the one that we're like that would be a dope guy name if like he pulled it off the other day? It was something like it was such a girl name, but like
Olivia.
it could have been a.
That's how I used to feel about like guys
Oh, no, I
named
feel like
Jesse and
you-
shit.
I don't think we were talking about it,
It might have
but
been Olivia because we're like Olivier or like something like people.
There's somebody in a show. In Queen's Gambit, somebody has a girl name, but we're like, I think that could be a guy name.
Is that what it's from?
Great
but I'm
show.
thinking of a. What am I thinking of right now?
Probably guys.
No, dodgeball. You're right, actually, because these characters are dudes.
Wait, but what would be your kid name?
Dodgeball. Who was his assistant? White Goodman's.
Yeah. Whit Goodman.
Oh, the
Or was
big
it White?
The
Michelle.
big black dude. Michelle. Yeah.
Michelle.
I was like, it works for him because he's so big and intimidating.
so
Then he can get
masculine.
away with it, you know.
Michelle.
Mine, I don't know. It has to be something unique though.
But you also have the same thing that Terrence has is like a perfect last name.
Yeah.
Laszlo,
Laszlo Johnson.
because I love
He
Camp.
would have
I
no
love Camp
friends.
Laszlo.
Is he
growing
always
up.
gonna have like flies around him?
yeah, exactly. I don't know. Girl, I love
Rose.
the name Harmony because
Oh,
I
that's
love
cool.
music.
Yeah,
You know, it's just a dope
that's
name.
dope.
Or like I don't know, like even like I don't know.
I want to
I
see
don't
your
really know.
kids. So
I really
bad.
liked the name Lyric.
Lyric.
Oh,
That's a
I
dope
thought
name.
that was really cool,
Lyric's
even as a
sick.
middle name. Yeah.
And I'm about my lyrics. That's like my favorite thing about music.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what are they saying? You
Yeah.
feel me?
Cadence.
Cadence.
Whoa.
That's actually sexy, bro. I mean, that's not my daughter I'm talking about, but you know.
Yeah, I was just thinking like another.
I'm just
thing.
saying the ring to it is sexy.
I think it is a name. Like it's been used.
Crescendo.
I will say,
Okay, for
you guys naming
Forte.
a human,
Retardando.
That's a real. Yeah, don't cancel him. It's a real musical term.
No, of course.
naming a human is like one of the hardest things you'll ever do.
That's their whole
Well, it, like makes
identity.
it doesn't make and break you, but it like
It can, though.
like if you have a fucking weird name.
Imagine being the kid who's like,
Weird names are dope.
their
though.
parent was like, damn, he changed his name. We really like that name. He
Yeah.
hated it.
Well, when we were picking out the name for what our child will be named, we wanted something different, but not like offensively different.
Yeah.
You know,
Like, oh, you're trying to be so different.
right? Like
to the
he
point.
will probably be the
Northwest.
only one in his class with that name, but it's
Yeah.
not going to be like,
It still feels right. Like
yeah, like how could you name a kid that? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
so
It's
It's not like
sick.
naming him like
Yeah, thank
dresser drawer, like dresser drawer.
I forget
Johnson.
the middle name though, so you'll have to remember.
yeah, I'll remind you.
Mom and Dad did fucking no work.
They did none for me. Mama did
That
none.
was like a
What do you mean?
'90s
And
thing.
Emily, Sam, or Ben and Sam.
There's already
Yeah.
a massive
Oh, but
famous
your
Hawaiian singer.
parents did a
the-
thing. Shane, Brandt, and Race.
Yeah.
Those are
Ne-
nice.
I've never met a Shane, Brandt,
Well,
or a
my-
Race until you.
Like another
Never met a Shane?
golfer that my dad played with, his name
I've
is
not heard
Brandt.
of Shane either.
And then Race was named after Race Bannon, who was from Johnny Quest,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
old cartoon. But they were like just in on the plane reading a
Oh,
magazine. They're
Johnny
like,
Quest.
and they were like Race. They're like, let's name him Race.
That's
And they named
dope because
Race.
he has
Yeah.
race car in his name.
Yeah.
Race Carter.
Turd.
If you s- yeah,
I
yeah.
have a turret at the end.
You spell race car both ways, which is cool.
Palindrome.
It's palindrome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Palindrome.
Palindrome?
There's a
I don't
palindrome.
know. You tell us the pronunciation, viewers.
Great question.
Questions.
Monica. Sydney.
Sydney.
Oh, she had a sick bandana.
I just love where you come with like random names that are not even close.
could
to
have been
what they actually
Monica,
were.
but it wasn't.
Monica?
You said like Stacy instead of Jasmine.
Could have been Stacy too, though. You know, when you
She's
think
hitting
about
us
it.
with the stripper names.
Was
now.
a woman.
Bro, my parents dropped the ball though, for real.
Jack and Jeff.
and Jack.
Well, Jack Johnson's a prevalent.
But
you know,
you're
They weren't even
all
like
musician.
big fans of
Do
him. though, and
people
he was already-
know that
He's
you
probably really
are-
young too.
Your mom JJ, your dad JJ, you JJ, and Jeff JJ.
Yeah, all JJs. So
Yeah.
they had to do some sort of J, but I'm just like, I get every joke every time I go to the airport.
Oh,
every
yeah.
time, like, someone sees my ID.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love your songs. I'm like, shut the fuck up, bro. Because I actually have songs.
Yeah.
No, but like, yeah. I don't know. It's
but your
just
dad's name is
John
Johnson.
Oh,
he
yeah.
gets
Yeah.
he gets checked at airports because they think he's like that's like a name
I'm
terrorists
sure.
would use.
That's
Yeah.
the coolest fucking name,
John
though.
Johnson.
Bro, our cleaning lady
John
who's at the house right
Johnson.
now, Sonia,
Yeah.
she's
She's at the house right now.
yeah, she's at the house right
Oh,
now.
I hope I see her.
She just texted me and she said, I'm like, it's the gray townhouse. You can just walk in. We left it unlocked, yada, yada, because we're out of the house. And she texted me back. She said, thanks, John. And I'm like, that's
Thanks,
my
Bug.
dad. That's my
But
dad's name.
randomly, you will get called John. Not
Did she hear this around the house? Is my question. When we were all living
Johnson.
together.
For
Johnny,
sure.
yo,
John
Johnny.
Boy. I said John
Bug.
Boy.
John
John
Boy.
Bug.
she probably hears a lot
Johnny.
of John.
She just said, thanks, John. And I'm like, that's not my name. That's just not.
Usually your name's John, you go by Jack for short, but your name is Jack and you go by John for short.
But I'm like, is she are we so close now? Because she's been our cleaning lady for years to the
Yeah.
point where she's
she's
nicknaming
great.
me.
I
She
mean, yeah,
calls
her
me-
son has played Fortnite on your Xbox.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer.
He's good as fuck, too.
No, but
I saw him drop
she
a 12
calls
piece.
me. Yeah, he did. I think he still plays. Too.
Yeah.
He cleans
Kinda
only
weird.
one, he cleans one knife for 3 hours.
He
Actually,
does
respectfully.
do crazy stuff in the
Yeah.
kitchen. But if you're sharing a refrigerator, it's all out the window for him.
Yeah.
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 But she calls me corazon, and I feel loved.
Your heart?
Yeah.
Damn.
Thank you, corazon.
You might have to shoot
No
your
problem.
shot, G. Shit.
Or she'll call me Papi. I'm not kidding.
Hey,
Papi
Pop-
chulo.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
tough. Does that make you feel like very just masculine?
Yes. Well, yeah.
He's like, but seriously.
Sonia's a real one.
She is.
Well, Annie, thank you so much for
Yeah,
coming.
we really
oh my
appreciate
gosh,
you.
thank you guys for having me.
Thank
It's a
you,
great
Annie
time.
Wilkinson. We love you.
Tell them about your
You guys.
podcast, where they can check it out.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I co-host a podcast called the Nobodies Podcast, and it's on all major
Streaming.
platforms.
The
yeah.
Nobodies. Go follow, subscribe.
Yes.
It's you and your co-host Bryce, who's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the greatest dude. Make sure you guys go check it out. We wish you all the success on your pregnancy.
Thank you.
Can't
Oh,
wait to
yeah.
see the young one.
coming
I
to an
cannot
end.
wait.
So
I'm so
excited.
hyped,
I'm so
man.
happy I didn't
He's
spill the
here. He
name.
was
I
here the
almost
whole time.
spilled the
It's
name.
crazy. I'm gonna be the first uncle out of all of us.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Yeah, you
will.
will be.
It's exciting.
Damn,
That's
dude.
nuts.
You're not ready for it.
I'm nervous.
You're gonna be like the
Uncle Sam, you're like
Vinny will be the
America.
cool. Vinny will be the cool uncle for sure.
You have to wear a fucking
No.
red, white, and blue hat. at
Grow
all
gray
times.
beard. Okay, Annie, for real,
Yeah.
thank you so
No,
much.
thank you so much for having me. It was fun.
Thank you,
Thank
Annie.
you for watching. We'll see you
Yeah.
guys next week.
You were sitting in your bed, had nothing to do. But little did you know there were 4 dudes who like talking shit while sipping their brews. Just make sure your parents don't walk in the room.
Hey, what are you watching?
Nothing, Mom.
Do you believe in God? Don't tell your mom, cause it's out of pocket party.